All right. Hey there, Laker fans. Welcome to Lakers Detailed Postgame Hotline. The Lakers play the Minnesota Timberwolves and win an incredibly ugly game against the Wolves at home. A game that the Lakers had a lot of control of and just decided to kind of hope that the team just sort of put itself away, which was just kind of what the Lakers have done many, many times before. They end up winning the game 111 to 102. So I think at some point in this game, we were up by like 20. And it was just one of those things where the Lakers sort of didn't try very hard and didn't want to like consistently keep up the effort all the way through the game. Obviously, this is the first game of a back to back. So I think some of the guys are just kind of trying to be a little, not cautious, but just be a little pacing themselves. I guess is the best way to describe it. And then uh, I thought their defense was super fantastic today. Lakers played really great defense for the most part. And I think in the third quarter, when the refs sort of took over, it got really nasty. And then it just kind of slowed the pace of the game down. Felt like everybody got super sluggish. So they ended up making a comeback in regards to that. The Wolves just played their young guys, and the young guys kept playing. They didn't give up, and then they ended up making it a game. A 20-point lead gets turned into like a 6-point lead, and eventually gets turned into like a 3-point lead. I want to say at one point. So it was just one of those things where it's the Lakers kind of just thought the team would go to sleep, and the other team didn't. They just kept playing, especially with young guys. That's typically what happens. I'm not really surprised that happened. This is sort of the thing that happens when you play young teams. And then Minnesota is also physical. So it'll be not a good win, not a clean win, but it's a win. So we'll take it. You got to take the ugly wins the way they come. Other big stories: Anthony Edwards gets ejected. He was just not having a very good game. Lakers, I thought their coverage was really, really good. Every time Anthony Edwards had the ball, and this is something that I remember seeing in the very first matchup that we had against him at the start of the season. The Lakers would show a lot of defenders and show extra defenders in the lanes that Anthony Edwards likes to take. I thought that was really, really good defense. I thought the defensive strategy on him specifically when he had the ball was really good. They started the game off with, I want to say Braun was on Naz Reid. Naz Reid had an awful game. He's had like 20 plus in like the last 5 games he's played, and he had an awful game today. So I thought the Lakers did a really, really great job overall. Oh, Rui hurt himself, left knee strain on sort of a leak out cherry pick sort of layup. So I don't know what the situation of that will be. Hopefully he won't be too bad, and he won't be out for too long. It didn't look like it was too serious. He was able to walk off the floor. Minnesota was beating the crap out of the Laker players today. So I'm just glad that we didn't have too many other significant injuries. The other slightly concerning injury is the one to if hopefully Braun was kind of limping around after some post play, because apparently the refs decided that they weren't going to give Braun any foul calls today. They're just letting Minnesota players beat him up. So I thought that was a little crazy too on that front. So I'm just glad that we made it out relatively unscathed. We're going to have to see what ends up being the case with Rui. Losing him is a big deal because Rui's been playing really great for us as a team. And he's been doing a really, really good job just kind of as that small ball five. So losing him is going to be interesting. It's going to be more DFS minutes, more Vando minutes. We'll see what happens and how JJ sort of adjusts to that. Maybe he plays smaller. He plays Jordan Goodwin some more minutes for perimeter defense. I'll be curious to see. Maybe he brings a guy like Trey Jameson off the bench for a couple of minutes. Who knows? The other thing I want to talk about really quickly, and then I'll hop over to bringing some listeners up. So this is going to be sort of the format that I like to do for these post games. This is a very late post game, so I don't expect too many folks to be calling in, which is totally fine. It's like 10:30 at night, so I'll just do the post game part here before I bring any folks up. If you're interested in sharing your thoughts on the game, some quick thoughts, you can just hit the request button in the space, and I'll bring you up. And if we get a lot of folks, I'll run through you guys quickly. If we don't get a lot of folks, then I'll just do the post game and we'll call it a night, and we'll be back at it tomorrow. But we got to talk about Luca. He's shooting. Today's shooting was awful. Like, he shot really, really poorly today. I thought his playmaking was good. His rebounding continues to be really great. But that shooting's got to come back eventually. I get like the conditioning and stuff like that is what it is. And it's going to be something that's a little bit difficult for him to sort of work his way around. But yeah, we really, really need Luca to, like, if he's going to shoot like that. I mean, he had that crazy falling out of bounds three that he took off of the grenade that Braun threw him out of the post, but in the fourth quarter. But like, his shooting is, he shot 6 for 20 today, 35 minutes, 6 for 20. He had 12 free throws, goes 8 for 12 from the free throw line, had 13 rebounds, which is awesome. I'm really happy to see him be involved on the glass. Braun had 17 rebounds. So, like, the only way that small ball works is if both guys are grabbing rebounds. So I thought that was something that was really good. At least we're getting effort on that end with both of our star players in that situation. But missing free throws, not a good thing, especially late game. And Luka's got to find the bottom of the basket, because 6 for 20 is very rough. And Minnesota was already shorthanded, so I totally understand that. But that's really my only, like, I don't have like significantly other complaints. I think Luka's been fantastic as a table setter and getting to the line and doing all that sort of stuff. I just like to see him start knocking down some shots, because I think that's what everybody's sort of hoping for. It'll help alleviate some of the pressure on Braun, and it'll help alleviate pressure on some of the other guys. But, Austin played 38 minutes tonight, so everybody played a lot of minutes. Luka played 36 minutes. Braun was at 37 minutes. So with that back-to-back tomorrow, again, is late in the evening, so they'll get kind of a full 24 hours of recovery. But I don't know, like, with what Braun's situation is going to be like. So I'll be curious to see if he plays tomorrow. But a lot of minutes that we probably shouldn't have had to play if Braun – not Braun. If the Lakers in general, like, had taken care of business when they should have taken care of business. So I'm going to be curious to see, like, what the sort of what the end result for the team ends up being tomorrow in terms of, like, who's available and who's not available. Because like, that's very, very tough. Like, to play that many minutes, and then you got to draw the Clippers tomorrow. Now the Clippers have their own injury issues. I think Norm Powell is I'm not sure if he's going to play tomorrow. So they might be shorthanded a little bit too as well, but they're right behind us in the standings, so they're going to try and catch up to us in regards to that. So I'm curious to see if Braun and Luka play. But it's going to be all hands on deck tomorrow, I would imagine, when it comes to it. I mean, outside of that, there wasn't that much to the game, like I thought us really the main thing that I'm continuing to be super, super impressed with is honestly, what's it called? Their defense. Like, Lakers defense has been phenomenal, like, especially to start these games. Like, they're really on top of everything. Now, with Rui being out, I'll be curious to see how it goes from there. But their defense has been really great. And I've been saying it. I know Raj and I, we talked about it last in the pod. Like, the fact that the Lakers are jumping out offensively the way they do against teams, like, even with, Luka not shooting well, is like, it's like uncharted. Like, I don't even know how to feel about it sometimes, because we haven't been in that position for such a long time. Like, for the past 6 years, we've been used to, at least the Braun AD era, like, we've been used to, like, maybe we come out really well defensively, but offensively, like, it's a slog to get to what we get to. And I think it's been really, really fun to see us, like, just come out offensively, like, locked in, knocking down shots, moving the ball, pushing the pace, dictating the lineups that the opposing team has to run. And I think a lot of the reason why we have these really great first quarters, I think that the good offensive starts are actually fueling the defense, because then our guys can, if our starting unit starts off the game well offensively, then when DFS comes in and Vando come in, like they can be aggressive. They can gamble in ways that they probably can't gamble on possessions when we're down or it's a very tied game or a close game. They're probably a little bit more tentative. But when the Lakers are up 8, 10, 12, 15 points because the starting lineup is just rolling offensively to start the games, it allows the defensive guys to come in and really do a lot more disruption without being too concerned about preserving a lead, which they do for the most part. But it's really interesting to see. That's something I'm still getting very very used to because it's I don't even know how to describe it. It's just something that we haven't had for a really long time. So I'm going to be curious to see like how much Rui being out of that starting lineup, because it sounds like he might be out for at least a few games, like how that's going to impact that starting group. Like is DFS is a good substitute, a good 3-and-D substitute, and I don't think the drop off should be that significant. I think the defense will increase significantly, but really the main part for me is, Rui was doing some off ball cutting and stuff like that DFS probably doesn't do it instinctively because DFS Dorian probably waits around the perimeter to catch threes and stuff like that. So I'll be very curious to see how that affects the starting lineup, and we'll find out tomorrow exactly how that is going to shift, and if JJ goes with DFS or maybe he goes with Vando in the starting group, but probably not because he's going to have Jackson on the floor. He probably doesn't want to have too many non-shooters on the floor affecting them. So it was a good game today. I don't think it was anything that like it was good in the sense that like I don't think it was something we should be super upset about. It was just a little annoying because we thought that the Wolves would give up and then they didn't, and then they rushed our comeback. So we've got George. Oh, there we go. We got George up here. Uh, and let me cycle through some of the guests. I'll wait till you get added up here. And this is the post game hotline. So as soon as you come up, you just give me your thoughts. George, you there? Hey, what's up, George? Hey, yeah, yeah. You're not new to this. So welcome to the post game hotline. Well, just any quick thoughts you have on the game? Y- Yep. Yeah. I think you're right. It's one of those things where I think the Lakers are still trying to figure out exactly how they're trying to figure out exactly how they're going to adjust the other lineups because they have lineups that they're trying to run with I think like where Braun is off the floor and Luca's playing, and Luca's off the floor and Braun is playing, and they're trying to run like these all defensive lineups. And sometimes Austin Reeves might be there, sometimes Austin Reeves isn't there, and that ends up being kind of tough lineups for them to be in because it's just I don't know. It's just one of those things where JJ is trying to figure out where to get offense, and then Gabe's having a rough time offensively. So I think that allows some teams to kind of get a jump on us to make a comeback and whatnot. So that makes things a little bit difficult. So I'll be curious to see how they did. You concerned long term about the team? Uh, with Rui being out. Mhm. Yeah.
all defensive lineup. The issue there is, from what I see, it's basically feast or famine on that lineup. Sometimes they just score in bunches, and sometimes they cannot score at all. So I think maybe the problem there is should be some right level of pace
Yeah.
how they were going to play.
Yeah.
The pace doesn't need to be fast and quick. There should be some sort of tempo, and sometimes I don't know if LeBron is up for it when
Yeah.
he's alone, and also Luka, especially that he's just getting used to all of this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm with you. I think they definitely need to figure out how to structure out what that offense is going to look like, because I don't think they can freestyle with Luca off the floor and like Austin off the floor, because you don't have enough off. Like they're trying to rely on Dalton to do the creation, and or Dalton to be like the one lone shooter or something like that. And I don't know if that's going to work. Dalton's having some struggles of his own. George, I appreciate you jumping on here. I'll see you in the next one.
hey, yeah, just one thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm just honored to be. I was surprised that I was your first member on the
yeah,
YouTube one. I
yeah, man.
really thought that there's already a lot of members of the Retailers Club.
Yeah, definitely,
But yeah,
definitely.
happy to support you. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Have a good night.
All right, take it easy. Yeah, so I was George was along with Shell, RP, a few other guys, three other guys. They are the first members of the Detailers Club on our YouTube channel. It's just a way to support Lakers Detailed if you want. It's I don't really advertise it to anybody. They ended up finding it, and they're awesome folks. He was one of the first one. He was the first one to do it, so I appreciate them. Next guy I have up is Bruvy. Bruvy, are you there?
Oh yeah, yeah. What up?
Yeah.
Um,
What's up, dude? What were your thoughts on the game tonight?
it was a weird game, honestly. I think like the tone for the officiating kind of
Yeah.
messed around a bit. It was a free throw parade, but we couldn't hit anything from the line.
Yeah.
Um, and then just down the stretch, like I just kind of had the feeling like, oh, we're gonna need like Braun to kind of just take a grip on the game. Not necessarily from like a make a bunch of like difficult shots or tough shot making, but kind of just like steady the group out,
Hmm.
get something good. And honestly, like I'm just gonna like do a little like little like soliloquy on Braun and like just kind of the stretch that we've seen from him
Sure.
post All Star break and even a little bit before, and just how good he looks like physically, and he's kind of adopted the AD role on this new version of the team in terms of like setting the tone physically, not just on like defense but also on offense. Like he's kind of the one like sprinting in transition for the leak outs like AD used to, um, and yeah, I think like he's playing at like a first team All NBA level. I think I was kind of like thinking like he might be like redlining a bit just in terms of like I haven't seen like kind of operate at this like high of like a physical level
Hmm.
for this extended stretch. I feel like in a while, but I think just just the Luca bump, even though he's not like shooting great, it's obviously just like um a massive burden lifted from like the offensive creation standpoint, and he's still generating incredibly like efficient secondary offense too. So
Yeah. Yeah. No,
yeah.
I appreciate you coming up here, and sharing your thoughts on the game, and sharing your thoughts on that Braun thing. I'm with you, dude. Like I think Braun has been spectacular. I think he's been really really good. And sometimes it looks like the game is very easy for him because Luca's kind of commanding a lot of attention and he's getting easy looks. But then you also have games like today where Luca kind of misses a whole bunch of shots, and you do need Braun to kind of carry a heavier load than you'd like him to, next to like Luca and Austin offensively. So I'm always appreciative that he comes through for us. In different ways. And he had he had 15 rebounds or some crazy number, 17 rebounds today. So it was, he was all over the place, man. He's committed to helping the Lakers succeed even with those small ball lineups.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it. Other than that, I a little bit worried about if Rui's out for any extended time. I think it just impacts the team from like physicality and size standpoint,
Mhm.
But yeah,
Yeah,
nothing much to like take away. I think,
yeah, yeah. It's an ugly win, but we'll take it, man. we'll take
yeah,
we'll take it. We'll stack the wins now. Appreciate you coming up, Avi.
yeah.
Alrighty, let me bring the next person up. Another guy who is an awesome member of the Detailers Club on the YouTube. Shell. As soon as this thing updates and Shell shows up here, Shell, you there?
Hey, I'm there. Can you
Yeah,
hear me?
yeah, I can hear you.
Hey.
What were your thoughts on the game tonight, man? How you feeling?
Yeah, I mean, a win is a win, of course. So that's kind of good, right?
Yeah.
It was just an up and down game, but some of the takeaways I took, from it were Vanderbilt, man. I mean, he really mucks up the game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's an irritant, and you could argue that Ant is not in the game because of him, right? Like there was no reason for him, Ant to get like the first technical in itself, and the second technical was soft, but you just never know what's going to happen after you get the first one.
Yep.
So you could just argue that he just like pesters everybody and he irritates everybody and just like causes havoc, right? So I thought that's really good, and I think Lakers need more of that.
Mhm.
And now with Rui's injury, like, and even Jackson Hayes, right? Like, he didn't even look fine when he went down. So we're just gonna need some of that, like, muscle basically to carry us through. I think in the next few weeks, to be fair. So yeah, it was but it's a win, So I'll take it.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll take the win. I think tomorrow we'll find out like just kind of how this team adjusts to losing somebody on the fly because we've been relatively, outside of AD, we've been relatively healthy for much of the season. Just kind of, obviously Vando was out for a while and then he comes back. He's kind of boosting stuff up. So I'm going to be curious. This is like going to be the first test of like adversity, like an injury to a core rotation guy in Rui that the Lakers will have to work around.
Yeah, and we're gonna find out if this team, what they're made up of.
Yeah.
Can they find other ways to win? Can they have contributions from other role players? I feel like we have the role players that can contribute. It's just that they got to find a way. I don't know how, but
Yeah.
they can.
And I think we're all hoping that Luka channels whatever inner rage that he personally has for the Clippers because every time he plays them, these next two games are going to be the Clippers. We hope he taps into that. I would imagine too as
Yeah,
well.
I do have a question though. What do you think the Lakers' strategy is going forward? Do they see themselves as like, hey, we need to get the highest seed, or as long as we're in the top six, we're good? So do we like maybe consider punting tomorrow's game? Like, heck, rest everybody. I mean, will it pay dividends in the future? Like that kind of strategy. So I wonder what the strategy is going forward.
Yeah, that's a good. I don't know if right now is the time where they can punt games. I think they might be in a well, like technically you could lose to the Clippers both the games if you wanted to and still be in front of them because I think they're pretty far behind. They're like behind 5 games or something like that.
Yeah.
But I don't think the Lakers are going to do that. I think they're going to try. Luca is trying to ramp up to his normal self, and at some point he
Right.
has to start playing these back to back. So I think you're going to see like a version of the team that is going to play, but you might get some like you might get some like pacing from Braun. And I don't know what Luca's conditioning is going to
Mhm.
look like, but that's going to be one of the things that we're going to have to see. The rest of the guys can play. Like they're all young guys.
Yeah.
There's no reason for them. Honestly, Luca's a young guy. Like if it wasn't conditioning,
Yeah.
like he should be playing too as well. So Braun's really the only one who should probably be sitting out games. But he's been available. He's been making himself available. You might not get like 100% of them because he doesn't want to overdo it, but he'll be there to help the team out if he can. So we'll see.
What do you think of the bench reduction in terms of like Gabe, Dalton, Goodwin?
we need.
I know we're not going to be depending on these guys,
Yeah.
but
we need,
is there like opportunity for them, like to 5 points, 10 points?
Yeah, we need Gabe to make some shots. Like he's really the only guy. Like Dalton's just a catch and shoot guy. Goodwin is a literally end of the bench guy. Vando is not a scorer. DFS not a scorer. So like we need like Gabe's got to make shots. Like that's really the main guy I'm looking at because they're looking at him as the alternate ball handler to Luka or Braun when Austin is on the floor, and they need him to score. And if he's not shooting well or not being aggressive or getting to the line, that makes our bench ceiling offensively much lower. So yeah, we really need those guys to like step up. At least make easy ones. Like Vando shouldn't be getting a pass from Austin like he did in the fourth quarter and then like pump faking out of a layup. Like that should be finished for a dunk, stuff like that. So I'm with you, man. I'll be curious to see how it goes.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's all I had.
Yeah. All right, brother. Appreciate you joining.
Thanks.
I'll see you in the next one. Let me get to one more. Okay. Let me get to one more. And we'll do one more, and then I'll let the folks go because, like I said, this is a late night, and we're gonna keep doing these post game hotlines. The whole point of it is to treat it like a radio show, so that we can all just kind of decompress together. That's the way I like to say it, and you can always watch the video version of it on the YouTube because I'm live streaming it there too. At the same time, you can share it with your friends, let them know that you were talking basketball and Lakers basketball and stuff like that. The same way you would if you called into a radio show. So the next person I have here is LeBall. LeBall, you there?
Hello.
Hey, what's up? You've got a Luka Grim Reaper. No, it's not Grim Reaper. It's just a Luka in a cape.
It's from
okay.
From My Hero Academia.
No, it's totally fine. I'm always just careful because when people have the Abby accounts, I don't know what I'm gonna get when I bring them up. So
no, don't worry. I'm not that of a troll. Don't worry.
What do you think
this
about
is gonna
the game,
be
bro?
some serious conversation?
Yeah.
But first, I want to shout out Lakers Details Discord. It's been really helpful, and I'm really loving the conversations we have there.
Yeah, I appreciate
actual serious basketball for Lake Show, but. I was just thinking while watching the game, it was too good to be true. Seeing the Lakers beat the Wolves like that by almost 20 points, and I had a bad feeling that this is something that might happen in between the game, and we saw what happened. And now I'm just really kind of concerned moving forward with Rui possibly missing games, and he's been such a huge part of the wins that the Lakers have been getting for the past month, even before the Luka trade. So now I'm thinking, what can the Lakers do with Rui being out possibly, especially in this stretch where we're getting the Clippers. I think we're getting the Knicks also this Thursday or Friday.
Yeah, we got Clippers.
So I'm really worried about the back.
Yeah,
we don't have a good schedule, so I feel like this is going to be a real test to the team. And with the Wolves specifically, I was already thinking this was going to be such a huge test because the Wolves are a big physical team, so it's definitely gonna put our guys to the test. So now I'm just really worried how could the Lakers manage this. But I trust JJ. It's just more of I'm thinking what would be the best for the Lakers in the next game for the back-to-back with for the Clippers tomorrow in the next Clippers game. Would you want to see LeBron rest in one of those two games, seeing that hamstring pop up? I was really worried when that came out. When that appeared. So now I'm just kind of worried. Even though this was a win, this was a ugly win, but it's still a win to the win column. So I'm not that mad. I'm not that upset. But yeah, just. It's not the Lakers without drama. It's not the Lakers without this being roller coaster. So we're in for a roller coaster again with this one.
Yeah.
So, that's all I have.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you joining. And I definitely, anytime we do a post game hotline, the folks that are in the Discord, the folks that are members of the YouTube channel, like when I see you guys come up more and more often, I'll make sure to keep you guys on a short list that I can bring you up. But I appreciate it. Are you do you think Luka's gonna break out of this funk before I let you go? You think he's gonna
that one, yeah. I forgot to mention about that one.
Yeah.
Actually, it's kind of crazy how perception can really change with how much we win. Because when we were winning by a lot in the first two quarters, nobody really cared about Luka's bad game.
Yeah.
and nobody cared. And then Luka hit that shot. So that was such a Luka shot. So I think he's gonna be fine. It's just gonna take a while. And to your point, Luka hasn't had Luka hasn't been out for this long. So this is new to him as much as it is to everyone. But I think it'll just take time. And by the time that he's in shape, he's in form, it's gonna be good because we might need that positive regression towards the end and just in time for the playoffs.
Yeah, yeah, I'm
So I'd
with you.
rather have him rusty now than later.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you, bro. I'm hoping he continues to ramp up and he finds that rhythm for himself, and then we get the best version of him right on time into the playoffs. I appreciate you joining the ball.
Thank you.
All righty. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. JJ has his work cut out for him. It's going to be interesting to see how he manages to keep everybody in the game, keep the guys locked in, how to replace Rui in the lineups, replace some of the shooting, the scoring, the cutting, that sort of stuff that he does. We lose probably our best heavyweight small ball player, so we're gonna have to see how JJ manages for that because he was a guy who probably punished a guy that we're going to see tomorrow because Zubac, we're going to see him 2 games in a row. Like Rui was a matchup that the Lakers kind of liked against him. We were able to kind of play Zoo off the floor last time we played the Clippers. So I'm going to be very curious to see what happens. I think I'm looking at my timeline. Looks like LeBron is saying that his hamstring is fine. So that's great to hear. But obviously we'll see what that looks like tomorrow for the Lakers. We'll find out about Rui, I would imagine, too, when they do an MRI. If he needs an MRI on what's going on with his knee, if it's just like a minor strain or if it's something more serious. But the Lakers have to keep playing basketball. They've got to play. They've got 2 games against the Clippers. They've got one tomorrow. They've got one on Sunday. Then we got to play the Knicks. So the schedule doesn't get any easier. It's just something that continues to happen. And the Lakers got to deal through. They got to fight through whatever adversity comes their way, whether it's good health, bad health, good shooting, bad effort, Luka working his way back, whatever it is. But I think the Lakers will figure it out. They've been doing a pretty good job getting all the way through. So, folks, I appreciate everybody that was able to join the postgame hotline. We're going to do another one tomorrow. I believe Raj is going to join me for the postgame hotline tomorrow. This was very late at night, but I think we got, solid 30 minutes in, it looks like, in regards to it. I appreciate all the folks that were able to join the space, all the listeners that were able to come up and give their thoughts. This is exactly what I want to do with these post games. I talk a little bit about my thoughts, I bring you guys up. You guys tell me your thoughts. We chat about it, that sort of thing. It's a good time. We're not yelling, screaming. We just come to some general conclusions that we can all agree about, and then we just move on to the next game and keep track of the stuff that we learn or that we observe along the way. So I appreciate all the folks that were able to join the space or you were able to join the live stream. And you know what? I hope you guys have a wonderful evening and a wonderful day until the next Laker game. And if nothing else, I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy.